down with Glenn Beck, earning a not quite endorsement from the one-time conservative media star. Okay. First of all, I didn't endorse him. I didn't even come close to endorsing him.
You liked him. You said positive
things about him. And one-time conservative? I'm still pretty darn conservative.
Are they trying to take a knock at you and saying you're no longer a media star?
No, I think they're saying that I was one-time Republican, which is also untrue. I'd have to give the Washington Post 14 Pinocchios.
Or are they giving you credit for being a libertarian now? Is that what they're saying?
Okay.
That you were conservative and now you're libertarian.
No, conservative. I can be a conservative libertarian, just like the Koch brothers are liberal.
Are not.
They're liberal.
Yes,
libertarians.
Supposedly.
As exhaustively detailed at Breitbart News, Beck and Walker also discussed immigration. Walker's comments struck a strongly protectionist tone, including suggesting limited legal immigration. In terms of legal immigration, how we need to approach that going forward is saying the next president and the next Congress need to make decisions about a legal immigration system that is based on, first and foremost, protecting American workers and American wages. Those comments prompted a harsh response from GOP consultant Liz Mayer, who resigned from Walker's campaign after tweets critical of Iowa came to light. On Monday, after the broadcast with Beck, she tweeted, "Sad to see the full Olympics quality flip-flop by former boss today. I guess some people think that what they can do, what Romney did in 2008 and win." Then she said, "In any event, I'm extraordinarily glad I don't have to defend that level of policy gymnastics or that specific dubious policy."
Wow.
Internal polling must look dubious, showing attrition to more grassroots conservative preferred candidates for him to even try to pull this one off.
Now, of course, he did fire her, so that it could be partially her reasoning or her motivation.
But it's amazing that she's a GOP strategist. It's the GOP strategists that are causing this party to tank. Of course, Paul and Cruz are both infinitely more right on immigration. Oh, maybe, wow. Econ policy and econ policy than he is. If
right,
he wants to restrict. Yeah, so maybe.
To the right. She's saying that.
Yeah.
Seemingly, she's saying that he's actually not as conservative as he let on in that interview.
Of course, Paul and Cruz are both infinitely more right on immigration, econ policy than him if he wants to restrict legal immigration.
Did he say he wanted to restrict legal immigration?
He said he wanted to protect the American worker. He did say that.
No, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that. But.
Walker has come under fire for changes in his position on immigration previously. Last month, he appeared to soften his firm no amnesty position that he had been outlining on the trail. His comments to Beck used that line explicitly. But still, losing Mayer and gaining the Koch brothers is not a bad Monday at all. Walker probably just wishes he hadn't gained the Olympics line, too, which will probably appear in a campaign spot near you sometime soon.
Wow.
This is what I don't like about Scott Walker, and I don't like this more with Rubio than Walker. And that is, I don't like the fact that I have to second guess. You know, there's three politicians. Ted Cruz, I know exactly what we're getting. He has not, correct me if I'm wrong, he has not flip-flopped on anything.
Not that I've seen.
Okay. Rand Paul has played games here and there. But nothing except for what's his face, nothing huge. Except for Mitch McConnell. That was a big one.
Harry Reid thing.
I don't.
Iffy to me. The immigration policy he has is not great.
But he's always had that. He's not.
It's not great.
Yeah, I know, but he's not flip-flopped.
You're looking for just changes.
I'm just looking for changes in position, current changes.
I mean, people,
not old changes.
He defends this. People will argue that he's flip-flopped on Israel as far as giving them aid. I think his position basically is, eventually I think they should be on their own, but it's not my first priority to cut aid to Israel by any means now. So, I mean,
correct.
So there's a little bit of that. But again, I think you're right. Rand Paul,
he's the only thing that has made me really nervous about his character of trusting him on where he is the Mitch McConnell thing. It shows me he's willing to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Rubio has immigration. And what else? There's another
The other one that has been complained about recently in this program has been the NSA stuff.
The NSA.
Again,
okay?
those aren't flip-flops.
Immigration wasn't it?
Immigration, he came out and was supportive of the Gang of Eight type of plan, which Rand Paul was, I believe,
and then he
also supportive on it. And he's backed off of that one. I don't know, the NSA, I don't think he flip-flopped on.
Okay. And Walker has flip-flopped on immigration and on Common Core. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that I don't like in a candidate.
And flip-flopped is the negative way of saying it. I mean, if you come from the wrong choice and you learn more about it and then you make the right choice, I'm fine with that.
Correct. I like the way that Scott Walker talked about immigration yesterday and said, look, no, I learned more information. But then did you notice when I asked him, I asked him, well, what color was the wallpaper in the room? Dummy, because that's a big change. What was it? Can you cite one thing that made you change and go, I really need to rethink this? Do you guys remember his answer?
Last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, I was with Greg Abbott by the border. No. Right. He changed before 2 weeks ago.
And I'm guessing he has. Yeah, that was just an example that sprung to his mind.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I know. It wasn't the answer I was looking for. That's why I want to dig deeper. I'd like to hear, does he really have when you have something and you really realize you're on the wrong side of something, you generally remember who it was or what it was that changed your mind.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that Romney changed his mind on over the campaign and over the years that I was uncomfortable with. But one of the ones I was pretty comfortable with was his abortion stance.
Me too.
I felt like he described that pretty well about how it went on. He was consistent with it. I never felt like that was insincere, and a lot of people did.
I didn't.
Yeah, but I didn't. I thought he gave a legitimate answer as to why he changed his opinion on that. And
other things I think he flip-flopped on.
Yeah, and so I think it's important as we investigate this, and we have a long time to do so, is to look at these guys and see if you can parse that. It's not always easy to tell, and the better politician can hide it better. But still,
I'd like to sit down with all of these guys one at a time.
That'd be great.
One at a time, sit down with all of them and ask them all exactly the same questions. See how they all answer. Not letting them see any of the other answers.
They'll all be in isolation booths all around the studio.
Right.
And then we'll allow them to exit. Mm-hmm. They'll all be in together.
And if we don't like their answer, we electrify the floor.
Yep. That's the basic premise. We're
still working this out. We don't know if they'll agree to being in the electrified floor room.
GOP shock therapy is what we're thinking it's called.
We could flip-flop on the shock therapy, though.
We could.
We could tell them that we're not going to do that. Definitely not going to do that.
It's a bedrock
And then once
principle.
they're locked in it, we go, oh, by the way, we've changed our mind. Mm-hmm. We are definitely going to do that. Yeah. Now, how do you like that? Huh? By the way, have you heard the network flip-flop on the sex box?
I'm sorry, no?
Yeah,
I got your attention.
You did.
All of a sudden. Pat's all of a sudden listening again, too, huh? Mm-hmm. Pat's been sleeping for like the last 20 minutes. He's been like, I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore.
Just gave up?
Yeah,
really?
He just gave up.
Yeah.
He just gave up.
Yeah.
You remember the show, The Sex Box?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it. That was the one where you'd have sex on stage in an isolation box.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it now?
Yeah, they decided.
That's probably prudent.
They did I think they did a couple of episodes, didn't they? They did a couple of pilots.
And then what was the reasoning?
Apparently it was not very good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. Because it sounded like a great premise.
No, it really did.
It sounded like quality
The
programming.
audience gets to, they talk about sex.
And then they go,
in and have sex
in a
for 30 minutes in a box that you can't
come back out and talk about it. That's brilliant. That sounds like good TV.
Really good.
It does. It does. I'm surprised that didn't work.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, now what are you going to watch with the family? If that's not on,
well, there's nothing now. Now there's just nothing. I mean, it's gotten so you can't even have a sex box television show on anymore.
It is.
Prudes.
And that's
if that's off, I'd like to recommend a couple things I could watch.
Okay, Jeff. By the way, we talked last hour about they're getting rid of FM radio in Sweden.
Norway.
In Norway.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Well,
I think they're different countries.
Whatever.
They can,
Very similar.
One makes meatballs and the other is like
Scandinavian.
fish or something.
You're saying all white people look alike? Is that what you're saying?
They all look the same to me.
Racist.
Scandinavian people. Anyway, so they're getting rid. In Europe. They're getting rid of the AM band. It's no longer in cars.
Mm-hmm.
In Norway,
next year or year after
next, they are getting rid of FM radio. So there will be no
static at all. Wait.
We're really going to the Steely Dan song?
1978. Year of our Lord, 1978.
That's a big one.
Yeah, FM. No
static at all. Yeah.
FM, no band at all.
So they're getting rid of the band entirely. Now, here's what's interesting about this. A, I don't like this at all. You can't put rabbit ears and get television anymore. It's all digital.
Right.
So if there's ever a digital problem, we're screwed. Now they're getting rid of the AM and the FM band, which is really not a good idea, I don't think. You have no eggs in any other basket except digital delivery systems. But did you know that there is an FM receiver on all of our phones?
Wait, what?
There is a chip that is an FM receiver that is in all of our phones, and you could use it, but it's not activated in 2/3 of our phones.
Wait, it is activated in a third of phones?
Yeah, I think it's Sprint activates it.
You can pick up FM signals on your phone?
I think if you have the story there, Glenn, they do list them. Yeah.
I have
Most
Sprint.
smartphones come with built-in FM features. Samsung, Apple, and LG are among those who have not switched on the chip.
Yeah.
But HTC and Motorola chips have not been blocked.
Right. So
Sprint has turned on the FM chip for its phones on its network, and that's it.
Well, because it's not on a network, though. I mean, you get to actually listen to FM radio picked up as a normal radio signal. Pretty interesting.
So how do you access it on your phone, though?
So they have to turn it on. And nobody wants to turn it on because
there's an app.
Because streaming, they want you to take it.
Yeah, they want to take you digital. They want you to get the digital radio so they can charge you for the data.
Correct.
Jeez.
And it drains the streaming drains your battery 3 to 5 times faster than listening to FM. And if the power grid goes out or anything else goes out, you can listen to FM radio. You can't get digital. But nobody wants to turn it on. This is insane. This is really, really foolish. And one of these days, when we're all in the dark, you will remember hearing this on the radio and going, and I sat in my car and I said, what difference does it make? And you will remember my voice then and just remember me saying, ha, 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 I told you so. Now you're going to have to eat your family.
It's a little extreme. A little extreme.
When you're eating your family, you'll remember.
You need to use it with a different cadence. At this point, what difference does it make? That's the way you get a message across.
Here's our sponsor this half hour. It is FreedomWorks. Right now, the NSA is spying on all of our personal data. Both Republican and the Democrats are working overtime to make sure that this unconstitutional spying continues. That's why Thomas Massie, one of the few principled Republicans in Congress, is introducing the Surveillance State Repeal Act to stop the NSA. The law will end the unconstitutional spying and protect your right to privacy, whether it is Obama or a Bush that is doing it. FreedomWorks is pushing Congress to pass this important bill, but they need your help. They need your digital signature, if you will. Go to freedomworksforme.com and tell your representative to support the Surveillance State Repeal Act. Right now, they're considering an extension on the spying from the NSA, and the Republicans need to push for the Fourth Amendment actually being enforced. Go to freedomworksforme.com. Tell Congress support the Surveillance State Repeal Act. freedomworksforme.com.
Glenn Beck.
The Blaze Radio Network.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-348-9606 if you owe back taxes to the IRS and can't afford to pay them back, or you even have years of unfiled returns. There's no need to fear anymore, but you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-348-9606 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, pension, savings, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 1-800-348-9606 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 1-800-348-9606.
Ooh, a xylophone. Sounds dreamy.
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, Robin. I'm shipping it to the Musical Historical Society.
And you're packing it like that?
What, this won't work?
Why don't you take it to the Personal Service Center at the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street in Ocala? Just look for the yellow signs.
Great idea. That'll save me a lot of time.
The passing of time.
Personal Service Center makes sending packages easy.
And quick, call 789-6683.
For the Personal Service Center.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements